It is your girl, Just Lovely, and I came in hot and heavy after paying close attention to this $24 million civil lawsuit between Cardi B and Imani, the security guard. Let's get into it. So, last week I caught wind that Cardi was in a civil lawsuit with a security guard on in LA, Hollywood Hills. Shit. She was on Rodeo Drive in a doctor's office on the fifth floor. Bruh man from the fifth floor that is. And so the first time that I saw it, I think I had got there and I was actually able to watch Imani, the security guard, and she was giving her testimony as to what happened. For some reason, that didn't fly well with me. And then later on, I found out that this actually happened in 2018. And since then, in 2021, Imani, bro man from Fifth Floor, was in a car accident and she admitted to hitting her head within this car accident. After which she ended up having plastic surgery on her face. Now, from the pictures that were shown from the plastic surgeon before and after, I couldn't even see a scar on her face. And her Timu lawyer, because that's what he was. He was a Timu attorney. Y'all, the whole time I was watching this trial, I was like, oh my God, how did she hire this goddamn Timu attorney to help her try and win $24 million against Cardi B? It ain't gonna work. Baby, your representation is flawed. And when he was cross examining Cardi, I was like, baby, you ain't getting nowhere. Like, why in the world are you asking Cardi about whether or not she had goddamn 1 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch, 5 inch fingernails? If she scratched her, she scratched her. Then the girl got her mama on the stage and grandmama on the stage trying to say that she was depressed because she was in turmoil because Cardi B scratched her in her face and she was embarrassed. So y'all picture this. 2018 in Hollywood, California, the NBA All Stars weekend. Cardi books an appointment with the Dr. Finker. I think that's how he say his name. On a Saturday. Now we all know that most doctor's appointments are not able to be booked for Saturday because most doctors don't practice on the weekend. They're closed during the weekend and only work Monday through Friday. Hell, my own doctor only work on a Wednesday, Friday basis. So anytime I have an appointment, no, I'm sorry, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, that's when my doctor, that's when her appointments are set. So usually I go do it on a Monday morning. But he decided, Cardi B is a celebrity, and I'm gonna go ahead and see Cardi. Cardi was wanting to go there for anonymity because this was Cardi's first pregnancy. She hadn't even explained to her mother and father that she was with child. She had already decided that she wanted to do this in a surprise moment And she just wanted to give her family the opportunity to know that she was pregnant. If I'm not mistaken, the building was empty. The security guard was there. And when Cardi got off on the fifth floor, she was met by the security guard. Cardi said when she got off the elevator, she noticed the security guard and she heard the security guard say, "That's Cardi B." Cardi heard her say again, "That's Cardi B." Cardi said she was speed walking, but she could see that the security guard was on her trail. Cardi said when she turned around the first time, the girl had the phone up to her ear. She said she turned around the second time and the girl had the phone like close to her chest, like she was recording Cardi. Now, if she was on a phone call, she might have switched it over to FaceTime and had her friend or whoever on FaceTime. I don't know because Teen Timu, the attorney, he said you cannot be on a phone call and video recording at the same time. I beg to differ. You could be on FaceTime with somebody, and not all FaceTime calls are recorded. But now Apple has this new feature. It probably went out back in 2018. But anyway, that's beside the point. Anyway, Carter asked her, "Are you recording me?" And the security guard was like, "Oh, my bad." So that right there was an indication that she was being recorded. Carter told her, "Do not record me." And so they got into an argument. Cardi said that it wasn't anything physical. We had a verbal altercation. Okay. So I've been watching this trial since then. The only thing I've been waiting on is the verdict. So today they had their closing arguments. The attorney for Imani, bro man on the fifth floor, he was giving his, closing statements when I had first tuned in. And when I tell you this motherfucker Timu lawyer is long winded, he asked the same questions over and over and over and over and over again to where when Cardi's attorney was, I object, that wasn't spoke about in the trial. The judge kept sustaining the objections. Nothing was overruled. He just kept sustaining. Imani girl, you had got the wrong fucking attorney. Next time, do not go through goddamn Timu. You should have went with Morgan and Morgan. God damn. So okay, let me go back to the trial. So her witnesses was a plastic surgeon and a therapist, her mother and grandmother. The plastic surgeon who I said she ended up getting plastic surgery from was after a car accident where she admitted that she hit her head. It was after that. Okay. But he was saying that the scratch that was on her face looked like it could have came from a right-handed person, and it was like the index and the middle and ring finger on the right hand, but Cardi is left-handed. In the deposition, she said that Cardi jugged her in the face with her fingertip. It wasn't anything about a scratch. She said she poked her in the face with these long 3-inch nails. I feel like, baby, you trying to get some internet fame and clout because they asked Cardi if she had actually went live and told her fans about it. Cardi said that she went live because her fans came to her and told her it was a young lady on live, and she was talking about how Cardi attacked her at a doctor's appointment. Baby, if y'all ain't seen that try, y'all need to go over at Law and Crime and Court TV and see if y'all can look at this whole saga, because the whole saga was actually funny to me. He was trying to bring up points like, "Oh, we were in the court and Cardi is cursing," but at the same time, you kept on trying to intimidate Cardi and asking Cardi in your exact words, "What did you say to this girl, brother man on fifth floor? What did you say to her?" And she said, "I told her she a fucking bitch and why she recording me." In Cardi's voice and words. Because he asked her what she said. And if for some reason he just kept harping on the point that Cardi supposedly embarrassed this chick by calling her big and fat. Cardi said that she is security guard big. You see, she got this security guard uniform on, these big black boots. I had on a hoodie. I'm going to the doctor's office in secrecy. And yeah, she bigger than me. She way bigger than me. And he was like, "So are you trying to say she fat?" Carter said, "No, she security guard big." Whatever the fuck that is. Hold on, give me a break. I had to drink some water, y'all. But she said that the girl was security guard big. And I was like, "God damn, Cardi." And then at the same time, when the other girl was on the stand, he asked her for her exact words. But when it came down to telling the jury how you wanted them to think about things when they go to the back to deliberate, you tried to make it seem like Cardi was cursing and disrespectful. Before they had went to deliberate, he made it a point to bring up the fact that when they was on lunch break, Carter had threw a pen at a reporter outside. I think that I would have threw a pen at his bitch ass too, because when I come outside on my lunch break and you saying that I look beautiful and I look like this and that, and then you said, is it true that you pregnant by all set with your fourth child? Bitch. Or is it somebody else child? Bitch. She throw something at his bitch ass. But the Timu attorney tried to bring that to the point too, to say that she has an attitude problem. She needs some help with her attitude, and that this is just something that I want to, tell y'all to think about when y'all go back. First of all, bitch, you already done had your points. And Cardi, her attorney had to, put in his shit too. And he did it very well. He had a plaintiff versus defendant. And the only thing he said was, when y'all first came in, the lawyer said that sometimes it just takes a little common sense to come to certain verdicts. And none of the things that the Timu attorney pointed out was commonsensical at all. All that stuff that Timu attorney was goddamn trying to put out there was like, are you kidding me? Come on now. Stop kidding me. Really? Really? But in the end, y'all, Cardi won. Cardi do not have. Oh, one other point that I wanted to make before I let y'all go. So, the plastic surgeon that supposedly did micro needling on this girl. He did it as a surgical procedure. I know a lot of people have office micro, you know, they have the micro needling that's done in the office. You can leave within 2 hours of the appointment. and it's not a surgical procedure at all. You don't have to necessarily be in the damn operating room with an attending nurse and blah blah blah. However, he explained it, the reason why he was charging her $17,000. But anyway, he was charging her $17,000, and it was on a lean basis, meaning that if hey Sonia J, meaning that on a lean basis, it was dependent upon whether or not she won her $24 million lawsuit from Cardi B. So if she won the lawsuit, he would be guaranteed to get paid. And if she lost the lawsuit, he would be still guaranteed to get paid, simply because then he could put her in a lien position. So now you lost your lawsuit, and now you owe this attorney $17,000. The attorney was also Timu attorney. I'm sorry, the Timu attorney also told them that she lost her job behind this, and he felt like Cardi owed her some type of compensation because she lost her job behind the situation. Even in the paperwork, you have to write up a report when incidents happen. You said in the paperwork didn't nobody get touched, but all of a sudden you got a lawsuit on your hand. Y'all need to stop listening to these bitches and hoes on goddamn social media. Every time some bullshit go down, everybody want to tell you you can sue people over the most smallest infractions. First of all, if you see somebody, it's okay to ask them, if you're a fan of the celebrity, it's okay to ask them for an autograph, or if you could take a picture with them. That's fine and well. However, you cannot harass nobody because they don't want you recording them. It's just as simple as that. Cardi said that she asked the girl to stop fucking recording her. And it got loud enough to where the doctor as well as the receptionist from the OBGYN had to come out and break the fight up. She said that they was chest to chest, screaming in each other's face, but neither one of them ever touched each other. So no, you can't. Y'all need to stop listening to these people talking about you can sue people. And Carter already done said today after the verdict was put out there, and she went to speak to the attorneys. By the way, I really did love that outfit, Carter. You giving contour and demure. That's what you was giving with that, baby. That's what you was giving. But she said that she's not gonna she don't sit at home all day and sleep around in the bed and sit on her ass all day. She work for her money, and she got people that she take care of, like her children, her family members. She have to work so that they can have a better life, and how she's getting money for them. She's not getting money just for people to have frivolous lawsuits against her, no matter what she called and said to them. She said from now on, she's gonna be doing some goddamn countersuits against people. So she very well may be lucky that Cardi did not issue a countersuit against her for these $24 million. Like, will she win? I don't think so. But could you imagine you going to an attorney office and they willing to take your case because they think that a celebrity is just going to settle out of court just to get this over with? And Carter was like, I'm not settling out of court for nothing. I'm not settling out of court for no $24 million. And this bitch lying. Cardi said the only reason why she actually went all the way with this case is because she knew that she was going to win, and she knew that there wasn't a case that could be formed against her from this doctor visit that she went, that was actually held for her on a Saturday, so she can have the privacy that she thought she deserved. when she was in. That's another thing. Like the doctor was like, couldn't you go to a doctor's office in Atlanta? Couldn't you go to a doctor's office in New Jersey? No, I wanted to go to a doctor's office in California. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, please go on crime, Law and Crime or Court TV and look for because I think, if I'm not mistaken, Law and Crime has a play on list as well as Court TV. They have a playlist on the Cardi B trial. If y'all go and look at this from the beginning to the end. Now, I ain't gonna lie, today was very upsetting to me because the whole time that they was deliberating, it seemed like I was looking at the goddamn ceiling too hard because we was waiting for them to come back in from deliberation. But I'm gonna tell y'all this. If you go and you listen to the closing arguments between the attorneys for today, and you just read all that shit to the very, very end, that's when you'll hear the verdict. And that's where you'll hear the verdict. Right. She can go where the fuck she wanna go. But that's where you will hear the verdict. This whole court case, to me, it was like looking at a comical why can't I get that out? It was like looking at a comedy movie simply because the facial expressions that Cardi was making when the attorney was cross examining her, and the questions that those facial expressions was made for, the questions that Timu attorney was asking Cardi was like, oh my God. And I think that this case could have been wrapped up way sooner than later simply because he just kept asking questions over and over. Yes, sometimes you can ask questions in a different format if the opposing attorney is, object. If the judge say sustain, then you may want to re-question and ask again. But the way that he was re-questioning and asking again was simplified simply because he at one point he was trying to be argumentative with Cardi, so you can kind of see that this is supposedly a argumentative person. She will fly off the handle at any time, but the questions he was asking were like the most idiotic questions that you could ask a person if you're an attorney. And I don't know, Imani girl, brother man on the fifth floor. And the reason why I keep calling her brother man on the fifth floor is because the doctor office was on the fifth floor. And the way Carter explained or describes her was like she's security guard big. So I was like, yeah, brother man on the fifth floor. But it's the Timu lawyer for me. It is Imani ask. Like I said, Imani girl, you got this happened in 2018. If I would have been hurt or damaged by Cardi B in 2018, it wouldn't be no reason for nobody to try and throw COVID up in it because COVID happened 2 years later, talking about you couldn't get into these appointments because COVID. Baby girl, this happened in 2018. If Carter would have harassed, if she would have fucked me up to where I had to have plastic surgery from a goddamn 3-inch fingernail, I would have been at the doctor office the next fucking day. After I would have got off work, I would have went to the emergency room. As a matter of fact, I'm calling my motherfucking superior and let them know I just got attacked by Cardi B. Y'all gonna have to send in somebody who can complete my shift because I'm going to the goddamn emergency room. That's where you fucked up your case. If it wasn't if it wasn't anything the way you had to go and have plastic surgery on. How you gonna get assaulted by a Cardi B and not call the police? Then you saying, this my motherfucking building. You could get the fuck out of here, bitch. That's why you lost that Casey money. Cause you's a greedy bitch on the hunt for money. Baby, you ain't gonna get no $24 million for you and your grandma and your mom to goddamn be able to live comfortably the rest of your life if nothing happened on the real. Then I'm in the chats and I'm reading the chats. They talking about that's trash behavior. She need to lose this case because she threw a pin at the reporter outside on lunch break. Man, look, right is right and wrong is wrong. That pen situation didn't have a goddamn thing to do with bruh man on the fifth floor goddamn face being scratched by a car or either a car accident. Like, why didn't you go get the plastic surgery in 2019? If that's the case, yeah, look, let me tell y'all something. And this the God honest truth. I got a double mastectomy in 2019. After I healed from that double mastectomy, within 3 months, I was going to get my spacers for my motherfucking new titties. I went and got my motherfucking new titties at the start of 2019. And I went and had another procedure done so I can get a motherfucking nipple. Then I went and got another procedure done so I can get my areola tattoos. Bitch, I wasn't motherfucking playing. What the fuck wrong with y'all? You think I'm finna walk around this bitch with a big old fucking scratch in my face from Cardi B? And then make y'all the pictures of the plastic surgery. You know they gonna do a before and after picture. And the attorney for Cardi was like, the before picture, we didn't even see a scar. The the plastic surgeon was trying to explain the dermis, the subdermis, the layers of your skin, and how he said it could be a scar up under the dermis. Baby, you were trying to get your 17,000 real bad. Cause you knew if that girl lost that goddamn case, the only thing you could do is put it on her credit report. Cause I don't think E-Money got no $17,000 to give you plastic surgery. Mm-mm. She ain't got no 17,000 to give you, boo. So that's all, folks. That's all. That is all. On that note, y'all, I'm finna warm up my food. I'm finna get me another drink. Last night I had did some baked chicken because I had got so sick and tired of fucking barbecues. I don't had barbecue for the past 2 weekends, and I just wanted me some baked chicken. So that's what I'm having tonight. I'm having tonight some oh oh God, I don't know what happened. I'm having me some barbecue chicken that I did not even I had baked some chicken. So I'm doing baked chicken that I had did in the oven yesterday. And I am having I did I don't know if y'all seen a cabbage boil, but I did a cabbage boil in the oven too. And when I tell y'all that shit is good, it's good. It's real good. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat my dinner. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. So yeah, just preparing for that. I already got my couture demure outfit together for the doctor's appointment. And I love y'all so much. I cannot wait to put up this goddamn thumbnail. Sounds good. I made a taco casserole. I saw this girl make oh, van life, little stuff like that. I like. I need to go find it. I like to see how people actually able to sustain a life inside a vehicle. Now I ain't talking about you living out in your, oh, that's good. I ain't talking about you living in your goddamn your 19 I say 1996 Ford Taurus. No, I ain't talking about nothing like that. I'm talking about what people actually have converted a van. I've been watching this family that had converted a school bus. That shit looks so good. Yeah, I'm talking about stuff like that. That's interesting to me. But let me end this so I can get down eat. Now I'm smacking in your face. I'll holler at y'all. Bye.